Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator in the series of videos that is all about Persian rugs and carpets from around this world. And in this video, I want to talk to you about not just two very special types of Persian rugs, probably some of the best known in fact, but also what happens when the two mix. These are, and I'm referring to the Turkish Hereke rugs and the Persian, the genuine Tabriz rugs. This is a very, very special video, especially for those of you that are really into Persian rugs, because you are going to see something here today that I, as a Persian rug fan, this is something that is really extremely rare. And so for those of you who are into the Turkish Hereke rugs or the Persian Tabriz rugs, I want you to stay tuned in this video. Keep watching, because I'm about to introduce you to a rug that is to my right, the likes of which you have probably never seen before and we didn't even know existed. And this is basically a Turkish Ozipek rug. This is one of the last carpets that was made by the Turkish Hereke-Ozipek workshop. It is one of the best known rug workshops in Turkey that unfortunately basically went out of business due to the influx of the imitation rugs. And here in my hand is a very small, this is a perfect example of what a Turkish Hereke-Ozipek is all about. And for those of you who are into the Hereke rugs, you know the Ozipek name and how special it is. So here we have, to my right in the back here, is a 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter, roughly 4 feet by 4 feet, Turkish Hereke-Ozipek. But the design is 100% Tabriz. And I put this up because this is actually the only Tabriz that we were able to find that also has the black background. But in this piece right here, everything you see here, the birds, the design, the medallion, the colors, this is 100% Persian design. This is Tabrizi design. But it is an obvious Hereke. The weave is Hereke. It says Ozipek. When I'm going to get behind the camera, as always, doing a little bit, I'm going to show you the details. But here's where it gets tricky. If this carpet was not made the way it's made, you would think instantly that it's a Tabriz rug. And for those of you who are new to Persian rugs, if you were to look at a map, you will learn that Tabriz, which is one of the main centers of Persian rugs, is in the Azerbaijan area of northwestern Iran. And right about now, when my family watches the video, they're going to be scratching their heads. My mother comes from Tabriz. So my family, we have a mix of Persian cultures. Obviously, being born and raised in Germany, I tend to get everything mixed up. But my mother's side of the family, well, they basically are Tabrizi. And they're also known as Azari. So when they talk with a Persian Turkish dialect. It's called Azari, but it is close to the Turkish border. And, well, a few hundred miles. But if you look at a map, Tabriz, one of the biggest cities in Iran, it is along what is known used to be the Silk Route, and you will find that it is in the Azerbaijan area, borders Turkey. Then you have a Turkish rug. And a lot of the weaving culture, a lot of, especially with the Hereke and the Tabriz rugs, they have a lot in common. Both are made, the Hereke rugs, like the one that I have in my hand, the one that you see here, they're made with what is known as a Turkish knot, which is a very strong double knot. It is also the same knot that is used to weave the Tabriz rugs. So Tabriz and Hereke have the same type of weave, they have the same type of knots. But here's where it gets really interesting. I mean, like I said, this is an extremely rare find. This is the only one that we know of where you have the Hereke weavers taking a design from Tabriz, and then on top of it, the signature in the bottom is in Farsi. It is not in Turkish. Normally, and I'm going to show it to you in the close-ups, when you look at signatures on the Hereke pieces, it is either written in the corner in Latin, in the Latin language, European, it says Hereke, or in Turkish it says Hereke. Well, you'll notice there is a difference in the signature between the standard Hereke pieces and this particular signature. This says Hereke-Ozipek. However, this is made in Ozipek, in Hereke, in Turkey. But it was written in Farsi. And what is absolute, I mean, it's such a rare find. We were arguing about, it's as though this is a rug with the parents. One was Turkish and one was Azeri. Oh, I'm going to be screwing this one up. I can see my family already scratching their heads, wondering how in the world I got to be as old as I got. So just think about the politics. Now, everyone that knows about the Middle East knows the neighbors don't always get along. I think it's kind of dumb because to me they're all the same. But here you have Persian, here you have Turkish. And the two of them apparently had a kid. That is what you see here. So we're pretty convinced, since the Hereke rugs, by tradition, most of the weavers tended to be women. We think, well, if the rug was woven by a woman, the designer must have been a man. So here you have the child. It's a beautiful rendition of what a Turkish Hereke, not only is such a unique piece because it literally, it's like the child of the two pieces. But what is also unique about this piece is the history of it. This is one of the last made Hereke-Ozipek pieces before the workshop closed in the early 90s. The workshop was one of those, I mean, this is it would take about 2 years to weave a rug like this. So, and just to give you an idea, this is a 1010 quality, the same as a small one, but I'm going to put this aside for a minute. So, a 1010 quality, and given the size of this rug, you can actually do the math on it. 10 knots per centimeter. We know this is 1.23 centimeters by 1.22. Multiply all the numbers. You have a rug that is somewhere between 1,400,000 and 1,500,000 knots. When you include the kilims, you got 1.5 million knots. Which means this right here, and because of its size, generally I cannot imagine that there would be enough space for 2 weavers. So we're talking 1 weaver. Question that is oftentimes asked is, how long would it take to weave a rug like this? A 1010 quality. We're talking 1.5 million knots. Given the size, given the everything, we're talking about 2 years to make. Now, this is also why the Turkish Hereke rugs basically became obsolete. Due to labor cost, material cost, and everything involved, it is so expensive nowadays. Imagine if I paid a master weaver 2 years' salary to produce a rug. And this is a full-time job. Now you can see how expensive they are. And then when you combine the material cost, when you combine, when it's all said and done, they don't just weave a rug and it doesn't look like this. It has to be cut. Everything has to be worked over. Then it has to be sold. Then it has, then you got everyone along the stages. Also, obviously, they are not doing it for free. They want the profits, they want a percentage. So this rug right here, this is why the Turkish Hereke rugs went out of business. When the cheaper made Chinese Herekes came in, you can buy the Chinese Hereke rug for a fraction of the cost of a Turkish Hereke piece. And unless you're knowledgeable, you may not even notice a difference. But the problem is, by today's standards, there's not a whole lot of people who can spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 or euros on a carpet like this, which is what, by today's costs, this is what these types of carpets would be selling for. And I'm sure there are some who still do. But I just wanted to show you. I'm going to now do what I always do. I always like to give you a little bit of a description first, give you a little bit of a background and history. So I'm now going to get behind the camera as I always do. I'm going to give you some close-ups, and then you can, like I said, this is such an amazing rug. And like I said, for those of you that are into Persian rugs, if you like Turkish Hereke or if you like Tabriz, the Persian rugs, you're going to really appreciate this one. So I'm going to see you again here in just a minute. So here I'm back again, and as I promised you, here are some close-ups. To the right is the Tabriz, and to the left is this beautiful Hereke-Ozipek. And as I mentioned to you, I'm just going to go straight to the subject matter. There is the signature, and as you can see, this is written in Farsi. It says Turkey Ozipek, it says Hereke-Ozipek, and it's just an absolute unique piece. I have never seen or heard of a Hereke being written in Farsi. If any of you happen to have one, would love to see pictures of it. And so the design, as I mentioned to you, this is very classic Tabriz. You can see the birds, you can just see how everything shines at you. Also the colors, the blacks, the pastels, the pinks, everything in this rug. This is all just 100% classic Tabriz. And then you have the 1010 quality, which is just absolutely beautiful to look at. But this is literally a perfect example of what happens when you have someone coming up with the idea of combining the two, which is basically the design of the Tabriz that you see here. Obviously, this is, compared to this rug, this is a 50 ruch Tabriz. And as you can see here, it's just absolutely gorgeous. They have silk highlights. But we're talking a rug that is made on cork wool. which is lamb wool with silk highlights. And then here to the left is a pure silk. So there is an obvious day and night difference. But it gives you, the reason I put this is, you notice when you step back, you look at the two designs, you can see the similarities. And this is really what this is all about. So I hope the details of this is of help to you. For those of you that are into Persian rugs, and like I said, this is something that is such a unique find that I figured it would be a shame not to share it with you all. So as I'm gonna just go around in circles here, like I said, this is, it is all about, like I said, the signature right there. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. So I hope you enjoyed the close-ups. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video of our very unique Turkish/Persian Tabriz Hereke-Ozipek. As always, if you're into Persian rugs or if you like the channel, feel free to subscribe. There's also the links to the rugs below, as I always do. Also, feel free to let me know of any questions in the comments section or visit us at mprugs.com. Again, my name is Mike. It's an absolute pleasure to present you with these types of rare rugs, and I will be coming back to you with many more videos as time goes on. Best wishes. Take care. Bye-bye.